Warning, about to be adult talking, adult language, all that good stuff. It's G4, motherfucker. I'm G4 Bubba C. This is Nerding and Burning, Season 2, Episode 3. It's called September is for Remembering. Let's go ahead and get the social media stuff. Facebook. I had to change it the other day because I didn't have it as I said, so it's Bubba C, G, little minus sign 4. G is capitalized, 4 is just regular, so it's Bubba C, G, little minus sign 4, because they won't let me use G4 on Facebook. Fucking shit. Alright, so IG is G4 Bubba C. Twitter is G4 Bubba C. Snapchat, Bubba C G4. Line is Bubba C is the ID. G4 Bubba C is me on there. So PlayStation Network, G4 KNGDDY 420, that's me. That's G4 KNGDDY 420. Twitch is G4 Bubba C. Zelo, G4 Bubba C Jr. Clash of Kings, Bubba C, Kingdom 1209, Alliance G41. YouTube, G4 Bubba C King Daddy, G4 King Daddy. That's my page. We also have the new page on YouTube, G4 and 1 Outlook. That's where you can catch this podcast at and other things like that. Spotify is G4 Bubba C also. And speaking of Spotify, you can catch this podcast on Spotify, Anchor, Pocket Cast, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Overcast, and now also on G4 and 1 Outlook on YouTube. Today is September 13th officially, 2020. Thanks to all that have been listening, giving me feedback. I see there's other people in Ireland, and Netherlands, Germany, America listening to this. Thank y'all. Thanks for the feedback. It helps get to, figure out what needs to be improved and all that stuff. Keep listening, keep giving feedback, and pass this on to other people. I use that title because this month of September has a lot of old history, which is old now, but it's history. One of the two things is September 11th. I'll be talking about that in my day that day in 2001, and also September 13th, 1996, and stuff that's happened this month here, right, present time. I'll talk about that also. So let's get into the September 11th day. Back when I was, 2020 now, so 19 years ago, 37, whatever it is. So whatever that difference is. Alright, so I wake up, and at that time, me and my mom were working at the Toyota dealership in Mechanicsville, Virginia. My mom used to get these migraine headaches. She still has them. But every now and then I don't think it does as much now, but every now and then when we were young, she'd get these headaches when it seems like things would go wrong or something would go wrong. She'd get these headaches. So that morning, we're headed to work. I'm driving her. She's like, be safe today. I got a headache for no reason. Because she knows she takes some medicine for it back then. She's pretty much over it now, but anyway, she would take her medicine for it, and that won't help in it. And she did everything, she ate everything right, so that usually wound up being something that happened that day for some reason. Anyway, she's like, be safe today. So that's about 7 o'clock before we go into work. So I go on, she's the accountant there, the head accountant at the time there. And I was the car detailer, aka washing the cars and cleaning the cars. New, used cars, getting all the sticker stuff off of it for when they sold it. So we go into work, and then about 8:45, 9 o'clock, because it all happened right in that range. we get an announcement over the loudspeaker, because they had loudspeakers in there at the time, for all the employees to go to the where the TVs were, where they get access TVs, whether it was in the car dealership, in the showroom, or in the back where they set people to do things, or in the mechanic area. So we go in there, and you see the first plane is hit. We're sitting there watching it. Bang! Second plane hits. So I run upstairs, tell my mom what happened, and she already knew about the first plane. She didn't know the second plane hit. So I tell her about it. She's like, "Oh damn," because she was in a room in a meeting. Look, I'm pointing behind me. Those watching and those listening, I have a camera. I'm, talking to that, so it'll be on the podcast, on YouTube channel, G4 Amwella. So I go to the room where she is. She's laid down. It's a meeting room, like where they take people in upstairs to talk to them about finances and all that. So she's back in there in the dark, lights all off, dark room. She's sitting in there. She's like, "Yeah, I heard about the first one. You tell me the second one?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Okay." And she kind of gave me that look. I knew there was a reason this headache was happening. I don't know, it might seem weird to y'all, but this is really what happened. So she's sitting there, and then about, I don't know, probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock, I get a call. It says, "Your mom wants to see you." She's like, so I run up there and make sure she's alright. She's like, "Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better, but it's still hurting." So she's like, "My boss is letting me go. I'm going to go home. You want to go? You want to stay?" So I was like, "Can I stay till like lunch? Can we stay till lunch?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll go in the room, lay down." She goes back in the room, lay down for a little bit. She calls my dad, talks to him, tells him what's up. And at lunchtime, I was like, "Alright, I'm going to lunch." So I walk out, I go get mom, walk out. We go sit in the car. And she's like, "I'm going home. You can either stay around here and we'll come back and pick you up later, or you can come with me." So I was like, shit, fuck this detailing job. Shit, they just hit the Twin Towers, the fucking Washington building, and the one went down in Pennsylvania. So I was like, man, fuck this job. This job ain't shit. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Really and truly, I was kind of glad, because I hated the job. I was just doing it. I get soaking wet every day. It was it was like dishwashing, but just soaking, dripping wet. I hated it. So I was like, man, fuck this job. So we leave, going home. She goes, lays down, talks to my dad, lays down. I don't know I can't remember if they fell asleep or what they did, but I was going, me and my brother had our own little section. I was going in there to sit in our debriefing room and just sitting there watching all this stuff, wait till he got there so he could debrief and tell me what he did and what happened and what it worked with him. So he comes home, he comes up to the debrief room. We call it debrief. It's just the room where we play video games. We were 18, 19, 20 years old. I just graduated. Actually, I wasn't. I was probably 18 years old, because I just graduated high school that June before it happened. So we're sitting up there waiting. He finally comes up, and so we start talking. He's telling me about this story that happened at his work, where a guy, we called him Ass. He wasn't an asshole, and I just called him Ass because he had a big ass. Anyway, that's another story. Was telling us how my brother's telling me that the guy that I was told you about was freaking out at work because his dad was ex-military, and the town they were working in had a town siren. When things would go bad, that's, it'd go off. So that went off right in the middle of them working. They said that guy jumped on the ground, laid down, was like, we're under attack, I know what this means. So like, no, we're not. So they cut the news on, the radio on. By then the radio had cut in on, because the working construction building houses always had a radio on. So the radio cut on by then, or cut in, and was telling them about it. They're like, damn. So they wound up working till lunch, thinking they were going to go home. Well, they go to my at that time, our boss's house, no, their bosses, I wasn't working with them at the time, their bosses at the time, house, to sit there and watch and go over what happened and all that. Well, one of my uncles stayed at the job. His name is Uncle Dummy. Stayed at the job, so they had to go back anyway. So they went back to work, and he wound up getting home around 3. So we wound up talking about it. He tells me that story. We're like, man, that's crazy. That's wild. Well, we were young, so we called all our friends, talked to all of them. We're like, all right, we're meeting up. So we went on and met up at my best friend's Carter's house in the neighborhood of Gethsemane at the time, which we'd go every day, and after work, chill out with my brother's soon-to-be wife's dad. We'd hang out with him every day, and our best friend Carter. We moved out of there in '98, so we'd go back all the time. Till more recent times, we'd always go back, just hang out with people in there we knew. So we met up, do what we do, debriefed, just sat around and talked. And the next day was like, wow. And you see all the things that happened, how for many years they kind of tried to block it out. Things like that. So that was my day on September 1st. And the other day that I have on here is September 13th, 1996. For those that don't know, that's the day that Tupac died, and hip-hop changed, to me changed in a big way forever. It wasn't hardcore rap no more, it wasn't true rap, I guess you'd say, I don't know. It went to more melody songs and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we got listening to Tupac and all that. So, when my mom and my brother used to go to my grandma's every weekend. Like every weekend. Then I'd stay with my dad. Well, when he was going, my brother was G4 DLC. My brother was going up there to visit with my grandma and with my mom, visit my grandma and visit that side of the family. He wound up going around hanging out with my cousin. And at that time, it was Biggie and Tupac were beefing pretty good. And he comes back one weekend with this, which is called a maxi single or a radio single CD off the album All Eyes on Me. It was 4 songs that they were going to just try to get played as singles from the album. So they put them out to radios. I don't know how. My cousin got it. I don't know how. They made the album, or the little thing. But my brother got it from him. He let him borrow it. So he brings it home. He's like, man, you got to hear this 4 songs. I'm like, man, I don't care about rap. He's like, I'm telling you, and the 4 songs are going to be the greatest song you ever hear. I'm like, yeah. So he plays the first song. It's How Do You Want It? You can go listen to this song. It's by Tupac and Casey and JoJo. I guess it was an attempt to be a singy song. I don't know what you call it. A lady song, like a dance song. One of them R&B song type things. Skip it. Next one. So next one comes on is California Love, which most people probably have heard. It's by Tupac and Dr. Dre, and it's got Roger Troutman on it. Anyway, so we listened to that. I'm like, yeah, I've heard this song before. And then next song, number 3, America's Most Wanted. Now, I've never heard Snoop and Tupac together on the song. This song right here, it's still probably considered classic to many people. I consider it classic, but the way they rhyme together and sound together was pretty good. Now, the 4th song, some people will know, some people don't. It's called Hit 'Em Up. Now, we can go into a long story about how Hit 'Em Up. Alright, we'll start it. So Hit 'Em Up is a song that really drew me and my brother into hip-hop. It's a diss song to Biggie and his crew at the time. So he plays this song. Now, I can tell you, we were, I don't know, 96, we were 14, 15, and doing 14, 15-year-olds to get whatever they could get their hands on and do at the time. So we're sitting around listening to it. Like, man, I'm telling you, the song. So like I said, we're listening to it. First time I hear him, like, man, that's fucking awesome. He's dropping F-bombs. He's talking about I'll kill you and blah, 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 blah. And I was a 15-year-old in Mechanicsville. You hear this song right here, it changes. It's like, wow, yeah, it's awesome. It's probably the rawest song, the most aggressive song I've ever heard. Today it's considered one of the best diss songs ever in hip-hop. Or in music, I guess you say. If you Google it, you can see it's the best diss song ever. And it come off these songs come off, except for that song, come off of the album All Eyes on Me, which is a double album. It's also a classic. So we listen to this, and he takes it back to my cousin, and gets us hooked on hip hop. We want the main CD. So my brother's birthday was coming up, and he talked to my dad and told him, look, I want this album. It's black background, red lettering. It's got some white stuff on it. My dad's like, I ain't getting that for your birthday. He wasn't gonna tell him he was gonna get it for his birthday for him. So he gets it and don't tell us, and then what he thinks he gets, but it's really the Machiavelli album, doesn't tell us. She gives it to my brother for his birthday. My brother's like, alright, we'll listen to it, because somebody gives you something, you talk, be thankful for what you get. Really, we didn't want that album. It was the Machiavelli album. We wanted the double album. So we put it in, because we weren't going to complain about it. Like, man, this shit, man, fuck, man, shit. This is after hearing Hit 'Em Up, the best diss song ever. I'll go back. The best diss song ever. Now, this cousin of mine introduced us to two of the greatest things at that time in life. One we can't talk about right now. We'll talk about when he okays it, and it's a better time and legal time to talk about that. This other is the Hit 'Em Up song. As a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, whatever we all were at that time, we jammed this song. My boy Skeezo likes it. My boy Carter likes it. You can Google it. It's good if you can take cussing in a song. Google it, listen to it. So my dad goes to buy this double album, which was supposed to have all these songs on it, which today has a lot of songs on it, but it was supposed to have these 4 songs. So we're like, yeah, it don't have Hit 'Em Up on it. We didn't know that at the time. So my dad buys it, thinking he buys the Machiavelli album, thinking that he's bought the double All Eyes on Me album for me and my brother. And my brother at the time wanted it, but we both wanted it, so he asked for it for his birthday. Alright. So we get this album, we put it in a CD player. There's an old CD player he had from Walmart. It was we jammed the shit out of it. He puts it in, we hear it first time. Like, yeah. Nah, I'm gonna complain, like I said, get it taken away. So he goes back, plays it again. Some of the songs catch us: To Live and Die in LA, Crazy, Against All Odds, another diss song. We instantly liked that song because that was kind of like the Hit 'Em Up, that type song. We like Crazy, To Live and Die in LA. He likes the song Hail Mary. I like, I think it's number 6 or number 7. Number 7, because number 8 is Crazy. Anyway, wound up start liking this album. So we play it, jam it, wound up jamming this shit out. Today it's considered, all these albums are considered classic albums in hip hop. And Machiavelli was different from All Eyes on Me, so it took us a little while to get adjusted to it. So but after we got adjusted to it, shit, to this day we still play that album. It's one of the better albums he made. Listen to it, it's totally different. It's a great album. Get out of here, bro. And now, let's talk about this All Eyes on Me album. So, wound up getting that out, the Machiavelli album. My brother winds up going out and, sorry, I had to kill a bug. Wound up going out and get, after he started working and, did a couple side jobs as a young kid, getting this double album, which is called All Eyes on Me. He pays for it with his hard-earned cash. So, and the first song on there is My Ambitions as a Rider. Now this song has so much bass in it. It was distorting, because we played it loud, like I said, he distorted his speakers in the little system. So we're like, alright, we got this. We go down to, which is his soon-to-be father-in-law's house, so it's his, right now, soon-to-be wife's dad. We go down his house. He had because my dad wouldn't let us play it in his stereo because he had a CD player. So we go down the street, 3 houses down, it's a duplex, and then the first part of another duplex. So there's one duplex in between us. Go down there. We're like, alright, we're going to test the song. So we go outside the door, we cut it. We slide the CD player into the CD player. The first CD. The whole album's a classic, but the first album, you cut it on, I'm telling y'all, you listen to it, cut it up loud to understand what I'm talking about. So we put it on. We go outside the door, we're like, alright, we can hear it. Like, yeah. Cut it up a little bit louder, go a little bit further, go out in the middle of the yard. So we get to the middle of the yard, like, yeah, we can still hear it, you know, at the beginning of the song, and it's just a loud song. So we go out onto the road, which isn't really far. It's probably, I don't know, I'm not good at guessing yards. But anyway, we're like, yeah, we can hear it. We go down to the wood line, like, yeah. Cuts on, it's like, boom, boom, do-do-do. Listen to the song, go listen to it. I'm not going to fuck it up. Us as 16, 17, 18-year-olds just jamming this album. These 3 albums. Like, over and over again. The song Life Goes On from the album. Trading War Stories, I'd rather be N.I.G.G.A. They're both, that's All Eyes on Me. Machiavelli has his own set, and then there's the maxi single with the Force. All great songs. All great songs. 2 of them, because the other one's not really a classic, but 2 out of the 4 albums I'm talking about, or CDs, I should say, not albums, are considered a classic. The Double is a classic, which is All Eyes on Me. Y'all can go back and look it up. That's a classic, and Machiavelli's a classic. It's great music. Now let's go ahead and speed on up to nowadays for the month of September. What's going on right now? What y'all been up to? Y'all can leave some feedback, talk, message me on those platforms I said, on social media, YouTube, all that stuff. New Locks album come out. Sorry, I need something to drink, but I'm going to grab it. New Locks album come out this month. Beginning, I don't know, maybe the beginning of the month. It's called Living Off Experience. It's a good album. I'll give it 3 out of 5. It's definitely good to hear them. You know, everybody says hear them sing together. I messaged my friend Ox. He's like, man, yeah, it was good to hear them, but I still like hearing Jadakiss. To me, he makes that group because it's just his voice. Ha ha! I can't do it. It's also race weekend here in 2 Up, 2 Down. And when we were younger, we used to go out and tailgate and go out to the trailers, you know, look around. Well, as we got older, we kept tailgating, go out there, and then people stopped going because it got a little out of hand, got a little wild, and everybody just got tired of it, tailgating all together in big groups. So some people go up there at different times and go look at the trailers, but we haven't tailgated in a while. My brother, he'd take his kids up there with him and me and our friend Carter. We'd go up there, I'll meet up there, Romans. Go meet up there and just go walk around, look at the trailers, go inside the track, look at the track on race weekend and shit like that. Well, we met up with a friend. My brother was delivering wedding invitations to his, you know, people who wanted to come. So he delivers it to the guy, hippie we used to work with. He's like, hey yo, I'm gonna have thing this race weekend. Why don't y'all come over? We'll play a little cards, cookout. Because nobody really goes. He's like, y'all just come, because COVID closed everything down. You can't go up there. So he's like, come on over to the house this weekend, which we haven't been in a while, to his house. So we went over there just tonight. or earlier, which is because it's 1 o'clock in the morning here, 1:45. So we went out, we played cards we got there about 3. No gambling, no like real money exchange. Just had chips. Just playing with a bunch of just old friends. It was alright. So when we were younger, like I said, we'd go to the race weekend with the crew we worked with, all our associates, our friends, our families. We'd all go up there and have a big cookout. What you do at tailgating. Cook out, play cards, walk around, talk. You pretty much do anything you wanted out there, see anything you wanted out there, seen it all out there. It's fun. So, like I said, we all stopped going. Everybody's got their own families now. It's hard to get everybody back to that without somebody having an issue. Anyway, so he's like, come on over, we'll have a little, he cooked pork barbecue on the smoker. Buck brought some, I'm just going to say names, I'll explain them later. Buck brought some spicy baked beans. They were fucking delicious. Dog brought the like chips and side snacks and things like that. And we brought the beverages. So it was at Hippie's house. These people we used to go with. One of them was Hippie, one of them was Buck. Fuck a Buck! So you see Buck, I don't know, nobody knows him, but he's fuck a Buck. That's what we all say. You say, what up, Buck? Fuck a Buck. And there's Dog, and me and my brother were there. We started playing, had fun, got some of it, so that'll probably go up on the YouTube channel also. Got some of it on video. We wound up eating. It's delicious, had a great time. Thank you, Hippie, thank you, Buck. Fuck a Buck. Dog, thank you. G4 Dilly C, thank you. It was fun strolling down that lane. Like they all say, we need to do it more and more. Alright, so let's get into this wedding stuff. It's been kind of a little crazy. Everything's, you know, getting bang, 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 like stacking up, boom, 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 for the wedding. So I got my suit in, it fits good. My brother, he's seen it. He's about the same size as I am. So he orders his, and then a couple days later, his old lady, might have even been before he ordered his. The lady's like, damn, yo, the dresses, had something wrong with the dresses. The people they were getting it from couldn't order. I don't know the whole story. I just get here and I don't pay attention to it. So they wound up getting all that shit straight. So it looks like everything's moving smooth. It's supposed to be a nice party, nice get together, food, all that for the wedding. I know I keep saying it. I'll keep talking about it until it happens. Still gotta write the best man speech, all that good shit. I've been working on it slowly. Shh, don't tell G4 Dilly C. Alright, and I got a story about the mini bike. I'll tell you all about it. So, my brother, him and his middle son, King, go out riding around the neighborhood. When I say riding, King uses his pedal bike that stays on the street. My brother rides on the ditches, in the ditches and on the ditch line around the neighborhood, so as to not get on the road as much as possible. And they were riding the other day, and they were coming back home, and they pull in the driveway and see that some cops were behind. So King was like, hey Dad, and tells his dad, he sees what's behind him. G4 Dilly C stops. It's like, can I help y'all? He tells King go into the house because it was dinner time. So he sends King to the house to eat dinner, and they're sitting down there. He said one cop was nice, the other one, I don't know how to say this in this style, wasn't nice. You want to be a prick about stuff. You want to tell him how you could take his bike from him, write 8-10 tickets, and all that shit. This is in a neighborhood, but my brother's not on the road, he's in the ditch line. So he's like, dude, I'm in the ditch line, what do you mean? I'm not out here running on the street. The cop was like, I can give you all these tickets, you know, you get no insurance and all that. And he's like, okay, alright. So the other dude, there were two cops, like I said, in two different cars. So the one cop gets out, is nice, and the other one, like I said, talked. And so the nice cop's like, alright, I'm just gonna check your ID. Checks his ID, everything's cool. And they find out that my brother was just buying this house we're in. Like, oh, you're just buying this house? The asshole cop. He's like, yeah. And he's like, oh man, nice house, blah blah blah. He said the cop's attitude totally changed. Because my brother won't be in a dick. He's like, alright dude, I'm not, it's dinner time, I got to go. So the cop's like, alright, you can't ride on the road no more. You can't do this on the ditch line because it's 25 feet from the center of the road each side or some shit that is considered state maintained. You gotta have all the stuff. He's like, dude, it's like a moped. He's like, it don't matter, you don't have the lights and all that. So he's like, alright, just don't do it again. The nice guy was. My brother's like, alright, I won't. So he comes up, he sends his boy over here to get me for dinner. He's like, yo, Dad just got messed with by the cops about the bike. I'm like, what? So I went in, or I didn't run in, but because he was coming to get me for dinner. So I walk in, like, what are you doing? In a joking way. He said, damn cop, blah, 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 blah. He starts telling a story. We're all sitting down eating dinner. So he gets up, he's like, alright, we got to be able to pass. So, and that, I don't know what day that was. So it was Labor Day weekend, the weekend before school starts. I'm like, man, let's go out here and build these paths. So we wind up building a path all around the back of the property, all the way up back to the original path. So we got a nice path we can run around. It's a little bumpy, we're still working it in. It's fun, man. It's a little mini bike, front suspension, no rear suspension. We go over the creek, bumps here, bumps there. Seen some deer back there, seen some turkey, which means they're not scared because they're running. Alright, so that's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and do the end stuff here. So, movie of the week is The Last Boy Scout. I don't have a quote of the week, or quote of the podcast, or whatever it is. Movie is The Last Boy Scout. It's a good movie. It's an older movie. Go out and watch it. Find it. Look it up. The Last Boy Scout. It's got Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis in it. That's where you get Dancing a Jig from. I'm not really dancing, I'm just bopping around. Alright. Song of this podcast. It's 2 songs. When I first started thinking of ideas, I heard this song from the Outlaws. It's called No Competition. I won't even pay attention to the dates and the month when I started writing all this shit down for ideas. But as I started writing it, and I got telling the story about Hit 'Em Up, how I drew us into hip hop, I realized maybe I should use Hit 'Em Up. So I said, nah, because No Competition is a good song. So I'm going to use 2 songs this week. The first song is No Competition by the Outlaws. And the second song is Hit 'Em Up by Tupac and the Outlaws. Go listen to both of them. Try them out. Now, some people might not like them. I know I pick a lot of rap songs, but sometimes it's just what song hits me for this month. Alright, let's get into these shout outs. Got a couple of them to add this week. Let's go. Glitch YT, King Mo 18, Sonny, G4 Dilly C, the King, G4 Carter and his whole family, G4 Schizo and his whole family, Biggin and his family, Notorious Diesel, Murdex 27, that's with an S, with an X, Murdex, no R, don't call him murder, Murdex 27, Faith, Primo, LK, Miss Jade, Eula, Hippie, Buck, Fuck a Buck, Dog, Romans, Romy Rome, homie from the old school, Cuz, Chang, what it do, man? To my mom and dad, R.I.P. Diddy. Love you, mama. Thank you for everything you do. You're the most important person in the world. This is Nerding Birding, and I'm G4 Bubba C.